Main man, made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. So word on the curb is that Dillian Whyte has now been suspended by the WBC pending an investigation and an adjudication. Seems as if Dillian Whyte will be basically stripped of his interim title. He will no longer be the mandatory challenger at this present moment, leaving Deontay Wilder without a mandatory challenger, at least for today. So the thing is about this whole situation is that this now makes, I believe, 2 investigations that Dillian Whyte may have to get through in order to basically get fully reinstated or to just get his name back. He now has to get through an adjudication with UKAD or the BBBFC or whichever one. And also he has to do one for the WBC. Now the WBC they're just suspending him from what I understand. So basically they're giving him a chance to say, okay, bring back some evidence, bring back something and convince us why we shouldn't do this. But the writing seems to be on the wall. I mean, judging by the silence coming from the UK, judging by the response given by Eddie Hearn and the response given by Dillian Whyte himself, I don't know, man. This thing is going to stick. And just to me, what they're saying just doesn't hold up or hold enough weight to me because their excuse is, well, UKAD cleared us. So clearly they're plotting a strategy of dumping all of this on UKAD. They're going to dump all of this on the BBBFC and UKAD and say, hey, they met us. They met up for a rinky-dink hearing and they said we were cleared to fight. So we took their word. So basically we were just listening to what they told us. That's going to be their reasoning. Now, as far as going into the fight, at least. Now, as far as Dillian Whyte, what would be his excuse for why did he pop up dirty for not 1, but 2 PEDs? I don't know what that could be. I mean, you could say you ate something, but what's the chances of whatever you ate had 2 PEDs in them? You could say you drank something accidentally, but what's the chances of you drinking something that you not knowingly has 2 PEDs in it? You can say, because I hear this is floating around now. Oh, well, I used some sort of, a blender or something that someone else used and they were making their stuff in it and I made mine's in it. You didn't wash it out. You didn't rinse it out or nothing. No, I just put my stuff in it. Man, that ain't holding no weight. This has 2 PEDs in it. No one is buying absolutely no excuse from Dillian Whyte. So I don't know which way he's going to go. I don't know what he's going to do. All I know is at this present moment, for what he waited 600 days for or whatever, he no longer has. It's back to the drawing board. It's back to the beginning. It's get the hell out of my sport. No one has remorse for you, Dillian Whyte, at all. Y'all didn't even have the decency to give Oscar Rivas camp a call and say, hey, this is what happened. Do you want to still go on with this fight? No one even presented the option to the Oscar Rivas camp. If Oscar Rivas would have got hurt, if he would have came out of there damaged in any sort of way, how could Dillian Whyte sleep at night? So I have no remorse for him. You know what I mean? And now he's no longer the mandatory. He's no longer in the conversation. No one's thinking about Dillian Whyte other than the butt of all jokes right now. That's all he is. 600 days for nothing. 600 days down the drain. All because you didn't want to fight a fair fight against Oscar Rivas. It is what it is. I'm glad the WBC made this move. I'm glad they made it in such a timely fashion. I'm glad they didn't sit back and wait till the UKAD thing was done or the BBBFC thing was done. I'm glad that they just got ahead of this thing all the way right now. My thing is, because like I said before, Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte are clearly dumping all of this on UKAD, right? How will UKAD be able to defend themselves? Will they just stall this thing out and try to make it go away like they did with Tyson Fury? Is that what they're going to do? I just don't understand this. Will Dillian Whyte still be allowed to fight, say, in the UK during this adjudication or whatever? Because I remember back at the Tyson Fury situation where Tyson Fury's license was suspended because of being medically unfit from what I recall, by his admittance to Rolling Stone magazine about his cocaine use is what got his license taken away. Not the fact that he tested dirty in the fight prior to Vladimir Klitschko. Not to mention that Tyson Fury was on his way to having a rematch with Vladimir Klitschko. You know what I'm saying? A rematch. So they were going to let him fight. If he would have never came up with the cocaine excuse, he would have probably went on to fight. So my question is, well, I know for sure Dillian Whyte won't be fighting for the WBC. And usually when the WBC takes some sort of corrective action, the other sanctioning bodies usually follow suits with the WBC. But I mean, if they don't, well, I mean, is he still going to be able to fight? Not only do I not want him fighting here in America, I don't want him fighting in the UK. I don't want him going within 15 feet of a pair of boxing gloves. That's just me, though. So what are they going to do? Are y'all going to stall this out? UKAD, BBBFC, like in Tyson Fury's case, like I said, he got initially nixed for being medically unfit to fight, right? And then for his admitted use of cocaine and being depressed and everything like that. And then in order for him to get his license back, it wasn't dependent upon him saying he's medically fit or he's not depressed no more, which they initially took his license for. No, it became dependent upon the investigation for the nandrolone use as to when Tyson Fury would get his license back. So they took it for one reason, which was being medically unfit, and then they kept it and refused to give it to him until he was cleared on another issue. So this is why I wonder. I don't know if Dillian Whyte still will be allowed to fight or not, but I would think not, especially with the WBC getting involved and taking away his status. In Tyson Fury's case, like I said, he was going to go on and have a rematch with Vladimir Klitschko. Remember? The ankle injuries, he wasn't making press conferences. They were baking that fight. That fight was gearing up to go. Only until Tyson Fury backed out of that situation is when he wasn't allowed to fight again. So I'm wondering. I don't want to see Dillian Whyte nowhere near a boxing ring. Boxing gloves, boxing shoes, a mouthpiece. I don't want him near boxing equipment. I don't even want him to mention the word boxing. If you got to say boxing, say moxing or something. I don't know. Don't say boxing, cuz you ain't allowed to say boxing. Say moxing. So we'll see how this goes. There's still a few out there that's still trying to keep hope alive. Still trying to come up with your conspiracy theories. Oh, it was the WBC. It was Wilder. It was Al Heyman. It was Sam Watson. It was the Watson twins. They're the ones that's responsible for this. It's everybody's fault but Dillian Whyte's. There's some of you out there still grasping with your kung fu grip. And you're holding on to that. Well, you do that. But us real boxing fans out here know what's going down. And the man is dirty. He took 2 PEDs. Second time in his career. All right. Once a cheater, always a cheater, right? And it is what it is. He's now suspended 600 days for no apparent reason, trying to get that #1 spot, become the mandatory, and he finally gets it. And what does he do? He turns into Dirty Dillian. To the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum, Instagram, Main Man Made Man. It is what it is, Dirty Dillian. Look like you got an uphill battle to fight, bro. You got to now get through the UKAD thing, the BBBFC thing, the WBC investigation and adjudication. You got a lot to prove, cuz. Good luck with that. To the next video. Peace out.